the meaninglessness of life, the absence of God, the loneliness of being a thinking individual, the absurdity of life. These are terms that are going to haunt any student of literature for the rest of their lives. And if you don't have an idea of what they mean, you might find yourself in an absurd world devoid of meaning and feel alienated from your own creed and also from your own class. How dark. Were the existentialists really a sad bunch of losers? Not necessarily true. Let us discuss some of the cliched terms which, even though we use regularly, we fail to understand the context in which we use it. Theatre of absurd. Man is an absurd world. So, what is this absurdity? Asambandham. What is it? Absurd is something which doesn't make sense. You expect certain things, but the reality is different, and your plans are in a complete disarray. And you don't seem to understand what to make of your situation. For instance, at the end of your graduation or post graduation, you decide to make a change in your life and plan to learn all the portions in the syllabus, which should have been done earlier, maybe years earlier. The books you need are with your friend. You try to call your friend to inform of your decision, but you have run out of balance in your phone, the only phone in your home. You decide to get the books from him the next day. The next morning, you read in the newspaper that a lockdown has been declared in your locality and you can't go out, and all modes of transportation has been stopped. Over a course of few days, you read that the world is going through an economic recession and getting jobs is going to be extremely difficult. The governments are forced to halt several appointments and do away with job vacancies. This is an absurd situation which you can survive if you do not lose hope and implement your plans of revising the portions you overlooked and developing your skill set. Humans experience absurdity when we come into contact with the world. Absurdity is brought about because the human instinct to seek order and meaning is frustrated by the refusal of the world to be orderly or meaningful. The next term is anxiety. With great power comes great responsibility. Free will gives you control and power to make decisions, but it comes with the knowledge that you will be held accountable for your actions. You decide to do your graduation in English, ignoring the unsolicited advice of your relatives of pursuing medicine or engineering. Your cousins are employed, having taken up the above mentioned fields, or by following the career choices planned out to them by their parents, and you're still unemployed. Anxiety is understandable. You feel happy at having chosen your path, but afraid of what will happen to you if your plans don't work out. This is the same case with love and arranged marriages. You can easily turn around and point fingers at your parents if your arranged marriage doesn't play out well. You could blame them for having forced you into the misery. In case you marry a person of your choice, the happiness and liberty is all yours, and so is the misery. You can't blame your parents. Some people still do. They might say, "Don't you know that I am immature? How could you let me marry this idiot? Shouldn't you, as my guardian, have stopped me from making such a decision?" These things may happen, but I hope you get the point. Soren Kierkegaard said, "Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom." You feel anxiety because you recognize that you and you alone are responsible for your actions. This produces the two-sided feeling of simultaneous dread and excitement. The next term is alienation. Nobody understands me. I feel like an alien in my own home. Alienation is the sense that you are a stranger in the world or a stranger to yourself. Many aspects of existence can be alienating. One of the primary sources is absurdity. Your expectation doesn't match the reality. You might feel alienated when you see things are not what you expected in a BA English classroom. You can feel alienated in your family, your marriage, in your circle of friends. After the Second World War, mankind stared death in the face, and everything that they had experienced earlier seemed pointless and without any purpose. This created a sense of alienation as man was put in an absurd situation where his expectations did not fit well with how the world responded. Another crucial point, it's a famous phrase said by Sartre. Existence precedes essence. Now, not all children are Abhimanyus or children born to avenge family members or children meant for great things. Some end up doing little things and some nothing at all. All of this depends on what they do with their lives. Children are born or come to exist in the world and then find meaning or define themselves. Hence, Sartre popularized this particular phrase. So, what is essentialism? Essentialism is the idea that people and things have natural characteristics that are inherent and unchanging. Examples for essentialism based on gender are: women are more sensitive than men, so they become better caregivers. The emotional side is then weaponized to tell that women are weak. This is extrapolated to demonstrate that men or boys are less emotional and hence not weak. Crying is a sign of weakness. Boys don't cry. Cultural essentialism. Examples: people from the south are very cunning, maybe Malayalis. North Indians are all violent. Rabbits only eat carrots. They're all examples for essentialism. Children with no siblings turn out to be selfish. Women are meant for domestic work. My husband doesn't even know how to make tea. These are some of the classic examples which we must have used maybe or might have heard somebody say them. Most prejudices develop from the notion that certain characteristics are inherent in people because of their gender, their family, language, nationality, religion, or politics. Essentialist thinking is conveniently used by people in power to silence voices of reason. Existentialism negates this argument and emphasizes the free will of mankind to take control of their life for better or for worse. God is dead? Huh? Existentialists believe that one cannot lean much on God or any ideologies for one's miseries or happiness. No external system can give you answers, and you must take responsibility for your life. Existentialism is a theory of self-reliance and doesn't believe in relying on the crutches of any dogmatic belief systems.